Alright, so we are going to be taking some summary notes today on volume, and then tomorrow we will do density. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that I think I want to fold the paper in half this way and fold down a little bit of a title piece, okay? So that when I open it, I have, zoom in, there we go. That's better. All right, so I'm going to title it volume. And volume means taking up space. Volume means taking up space. It's how much space something takes up. And we're going to talk about two methods. We're going to talk about two methods. I'll give y'all just a second to write that down. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is method one is using the Archimedes method. So method one is, and guys, be careful because I know there's not a whole lot of space, but you want to make sure that you can fit it all on the front because we're gluing this down in your journal. So you don't want to have to write it on the back. So method number one is to determine volume by displacement. Oh, mine ran over. To determine volume by displacement. This is also known as the Archimedes method, or Archimedes principle. Also known as the Archimedes principle. I'll give you a second. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do to kind of show what this displacement is I'm going to draw these like graduated cylinders. They're not going to be very big, so kind of watch. So I'm going to draw a little circle here, a little oval, a couple of lines that come down, put a little base on it, put some lines, measurement lines. I'm going to do that twice, okay? I'm going to draw 2 of those. Kind of next to each other. These are called graduated cylinders, right? They are called graduated cylinders. So the first one, I'm going to kind of put in a level of water. All right? But the second one, I'm going to draw a little box. Let's just pretend like I dropped a little box in there. So the idea of Archimedes' principle about measuring volume means that when I drop a box in there, the water level goes up, right? So I'm going to kind of draw the water level rising. And then kind of draw my water around it. So when I show the difference between the water levels, can y'all see that? I'm going to zoom in. The difference between the water levels shows the volume of the block. Okay, so when you drop something in the water, it increases, the water level goes up. I'm going to give y'all a minute to write that down. I'm going to see if I can find a, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It might be tricky. I'm going to see if I can find a graduated cylinder with a block and show you this. So I'm going to give you a minute to draw this while I go look. I'm going to try something different real quick. Chloe, stop the chat. So I'm going to go, I have these two cylinders. I am going to go fill them up with the same amount of water. I'll be right back. I am going to see if I can move this camera so that y'all can see what I'm doing. Let's see. So, yeah. Let's see if this will work. All right. Nope, wrong way. All right, can y'all see these two cylinders? Maybe? Let's see if we can change it. Just, look at that. Let's get this out of the way. I wonder if, hang on a minute. Got this. Got this. See if this background doesn't help so that you can see it a little better. Whoa. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, so I know it's not perfect, but if you can see the water in both of these is 20 milliliters. Do y'all see that? The water level is 20 milliliters. So I have a rock, okay? I have a rock. I'm going to put this rock in this one, and you're going to see the displacement of water. So now we can tell what the volume of the rock is, right? So you have, this is the Archimedes principle, where just like he was in the bath yesterday, this is the displacement of water. When I drop the rock in, you can see that the rock has a little less than 5 milliliters of 5 milliliters of volume, right? Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to push this to the side, and we will continue with our notes. Put this back, put this back, put this back. All right, so then the next piece, method 1, is to determine the volume by displacement. And we know that for method 1, the unit of volume is milliliters. So like 1 milliliter equals, oh, I'm not going to do that part. Don't do that. Let's not do this. Okay. So this is milliliters, the change in milliliters. All right. The second method I want to talk about is calculating volume with dimensions. So method 2 is calculating volume with dimensions. So I'm going to draw my block. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to give you all a minute to write that down, actually. Let me give you a minute. All the wrong buttons. There we go. All right. So then I am going to draw a block. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, just like that. And off the rectangle, I am going to draw 3 lines coming off of that side, and then I'm going to connect those lines. And that's how you draw a block. I am going to give measurements. So let's say that this is, I'm going to do, this is 2 centimeters. I'm going to say this is 3 centimeters. I'm going to say this is, we'll do this one 2 again. So then I could label these width, actually that one would be width, but that's okay, length, and height. So to calculate length, width, and height, remember yesterday it was length times width times height will give you the volume. So I can do 2 times 3 times 2. 2 times 3 is 6 times 2 is 12 centimeters cubed. Give you a minute to write that down. So yesterday they even talked about, in the video that we watched, that you can calculate volume by multiplying length times width times height. My H's look like N's, so I'm trying to make them look more like H's. There we go. All right, so the last thing I want to add down here at the bottom is that the unit of volume using method 2 is centimeters cubed. Centimeters cubed. So you see the centimeters cubed, or it's cubic centimeters. All right. Let me grab my science journal so I can show you where to put this. Say that. Hang on a minute. I don't know what I did with it. That's a little disturbing. My science journal has seemed to have gone missing. Oh. I found it. So, in your journal, this is going to go on page 5. So, today's date is September 15th. So, I'm going to write 09/15/2020. And this entry is volume. And we are going to glue it on page 5. On page 5. And it's the same thing. I'm going to go to page 5. And this is the whole reason, one of the many reasons why I like to fold these pages in half or fold these pages is then go over here to page 5 right here. And I am going to glue down half the page. Like so. Cool thing is I've already titled it volume right here. Oh, y'all can't see that. I've already titled it volume. So I know that on page 5, I have volume, and I can go back to my table of contents, wherever it is, and I have it listed on page 5. Make sure